My wife and I met in high school. We were both teenagers, still navigating the tumultuous waters of adolescence. Our love story began in the halls of our high school, where we quickly became inseparable. We experienced the highs and lows of growing up together, and our relationship evolved from a teenage romance into a lifelong commitment. We married shortly after graduation, full of youthful enthusiasm and dreams for the future. Over the years, we built a life together that many would consider enviable. We had 2 beautiful children, ages 5 and 6, who brought us immense joy. Our life was a blend of routine and stability, marked by the comfort of familiarity. As we grew older, our relationship settled into a predictable rhythm. The excitement of our early years gave way to the routine of daily life. We celebrated anniversaries, birthdays, and holidays with the same patterns that had become second nature. Our love, while still present, became overshadowed by the responsibilities of parenting and maintaining our household. The discontent began to seep in slowly over the past 5 years. What once felt like a comfortable routine started to feel like a stagnant pool. I found myself yearning for something more, something different. The sense of adventure and excitement that had initially defined our relationship seemed to fade, replaced by the monotony of everyday life. During this period, I met someone new, my girlfriend, who was 28 years old. Despite the significant age difference, I was drawn to her youthful energy and vibrant personality. She represented a stark contrast to the predictable life I had with my wife. Her presence in my life felt like a breath of fresh air, an escape from the routine that had begun to suffocate me. Instead of addressing the issues within my marriage and seeking solutions together with my wife, I chose a different path. I began an affair with my girlfriend, seeking solace and excitement outside the confines of my marital relationship. The thrill of a new romance was intoxicating, providing a temporary escape from the dissatisfaction I felt. The affair was not a secret for long. My wife discovered my betrayal, and the impact on her was immediate and profound. The pain and hurt she experienced were palpable. Despite the gravity of the situation, she approached it with a grace that was both unexpected and admirable. Rather than reacting with anger or seeking retribution, she made it clear that she wanted to end our relationship. The decision to separate was not made in haste. We avoided discussing divorce, perhaps out of a lingering hope or reluctance to fully confront the end of our shared life. I moved out of our family home, a house inherited from my grandparents that held both sentimental and financial value. The property, now worth a significant amount, became a point of contention between my wife, my girlfriend, and me. My girlfriend's dissatisfaction with the situation grew as the divorce process stalled. She was particularly unhappy about the house, feeling that it represented my past life and should be relinquished. To her, the home was an obstacle to our future together. Her frustration led her to confront my wife about the property, despite my wishes to handle it differently. One evening, as we were dropping off our daughters with their mother, my girlfriend took the opportunity to speak with my wife. The conversation was charged with tension. My wife, still reeling from the betrayal, was confused by the confrontation. She asserted her claim to the house, stating that it rightfully belonged to her and our children. My girlfriend, however, insisted that the house was mine, and that it was time for my wife to move on. The confrontation escalated when my girlfriend lashed out, calling my wife a hag and accusing her of bitterness due to age. The insult was both crude and hurtful. My wife responded with a calm but cutting remark: "Is your age your only redeeming quality? Because that won't last." She then added, "I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you." My wife's words were a stark reminder of the consequences of my actions. The impact of her response was immediate and profound. Her remark was not merely a defense of her dignity, but also a reflection of the deep-seated hurt I had caused her. It was clear that my wife was articulating a deeper sense of betrayal and loss. The realization that I had sacrificed a meaningful relationship for a fleeting and superficial romance was crushing. The vision of growing old together, which had once been a cherished dream, now felt like a distant memory. My wife's words forced me to confront the reality of what I had lost, and the pain I had inflicted since that confrontation. The emotional fallout has been significant. The regret I feel is immense and unrelenting. The future I had once envisioned with my wife, sharing our later years together, growing old side by side, now feels irreparably damaged. The consequences of my choices are a constant reminder of the cost of my betrayal. Every interaction with my wife now carries a weight of regret. The comfort of her presence, the familiarity of our shared history, and the promise of a future together are now overshadowed by the reality of what I have sacrificed. The image of us as an elderly couple, holding hands and sharing tender moments, has become a symbol of what I have lost. The path to healing is fraught with challenges. The damage caused by my actions is significant, and repairing it may be impossible. The future I had hoped for is now lost, and the consequences of my actions are a painful reminder of the choices I made. As I navigate this challenging period, I am confronted with the reality that my decisions have led to a significant loss, the regret I feel is profound and unrelenting. No matter what choices I make moving forward, the impact of my actions will be felt for a long time. The future I once envisioned with my wife is now a distant dream, overshadowed by the regret of not valuing what I had. My wife's words will remain a haunting reminder of the consequences of my actions, and the pain of knowing that I have sacrificed a deep and meaningful relationship for a fleeting distraction is a burden I must carry as I look to the future. I am faced with the reality that repairing the damage may be impossible. My wife's words and a realization of what I have sacrificed haunt me every day. The life we shared, the dreams we had, and the future we envisioned together are now irretrievably altered. I must grapple with the reality that my choices have led to a significant loss. The future I had hoped for is now a distant memory, overshadowed by the regret of my actions. The pain of knowing that I have sacrificed a deep and meaningful relationship for a fleeting distraction is a burden that I must bear in the end. The regret I feel is a constant reminder of the cost of my choices. The future I once envisioned with my wife is now lost, and the consequences of my actions will be felt for a long time. My wife's words will remain a haunting reminder of the impact of my decisions, and the pain of knowing that I've sacrificed a deep and meaningful relationship for a fleeting distraction is a burden I will carry with me.